All right, guys, so today we're going to be doing a statistical calculation display review. So like everything we've been working on all week and last week. So like box plots, dots plots, histograms, stem and leaf plots. We're just going to be doing calculations with those statistical displays, okay? So we're going to go ahead and let's review the flashback because these are the skills that you're going to need to complete all of your work for today. Okay, so first off, number one is a box plot, and it says to calculate the interquartile range. So we know that our interquartile range is calculated by doing the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Now again, if you don't have the work that I'm putting on the screen on your paper, you need to get it on there because that's how I want you to show your work for your activity today as well. Okay, so if we look at this box plot, we know on a box plot that our quartiles are the ends of the box. Okay, so in this one, the upper quartile is 23 and the lower quartile is 16. If we subtract those, we get an interquartile range of 7. So our IQR is 7. All right, so let's take a look. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 is a dot plot, and it says to find the median. So if we're going to find the median, the very first thing that we have to do is we have to list out the entire data set. So if you didn't do that, you're going to do that with me now. List out all of your data points first. So if we look at this dot plot, we can see that if to list out our data set, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 sixes in our data set. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to list those out. Okay, we're going to have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 sevens. Okay, we're going to have 3 8s. We're going to have 2 9s and a 10. They're going to have to be down here in the second row. Sorry, guys. Okay, all right. Now that we have our data set listed out, all we have to do now is start crossing off. Now remember, if you have one number left in the middle, that's your median. If you have 2 numbers left in the middle, you're going to add those 2 together and you're going to divide by 2. So let's go ahead and start crossing for these. We're going to cross off 6 and 10, 6 and 9, 6 and 9, 6 and 8, 7 and 8, 7 and 8 again, 7, 7. We have 2 7s left in the middle. So if I added those 2 together, 7 plus 7 is 14, and if I divide that by 2, it's 7. Any time that you have the same number in the middle, it's just going to be that number. So A, our median should have been 7. All right, let's scooch on over. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 is a histogram, and it's asking us for the mode age. And we know that mode is asking us for the most, okay? So the one that appears the most on a histogram is going to be the interval or the range that has the tallest bar. So if we're looking at this one, we're looking at the tallest bar, which is right here, which gives us the interval 50 to 59. So our answer, the mode interval, the one that appears the most is 50 to 59. Okay, all right, let's take a look at number 4. Number 4, it says, what is the range of first period's test scores? So we know that range is maximum minus minimum. Okay, and on a dot plot, the upper and the lower extreme are the maximum and the minimum are out here on our ends. Okay, they're the what we extend those whiskers to. That's our maximum and that's our minimum. So it looks like our maximum here is probably like 97, 98, something like that. So let's say it's probably 98. Okay. Our minimum is right here. Okay. Actually, maybe that's more like 97. So I'm going to change that. If we need to go back, we can. I think it's more like 97. Our minimum is right at 60. So when we subtract those for the range, we get a range of 37. So our range is C, 37. Okay, now if I had kept it 98 and I subtracted them and I got 38, I would have just had to like tell myself like, oh, it was probably like 97. So the answer 37 goes with mine. Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Number 5 is to calculate the mean of our dot plot here. So again, the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to list out this data set To find the mean, we're going to add them all up and then divide by how many there are. So I'm going to first write out my data set. Okay, so I have 17, and I'm just going to put it right here. I have one dot at 17, so I know there's one 17. I have two 18s. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 20s. Okay, I have 3 23s. So I have a 23, 23, 23. I have a 24, and then I have two 25s. Okay, so there's my data set. We're going to be finding the mean, and when we find the mean, all we have to do is we have to add them up and divide by how many there are. Okay, so we're going to do that in our calculator. So let me go ahead and get my calculator pulled up here. Let me see. There it goes. So I'm going to add them up. I have 17 plus 18 plus 18 plus, I have 5 20, so I got to make sure I get them all in there. 20, 20, plus 20, plus 20, plus 20. Okay. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 3 23s. So I have a 23 plus 23 plus 23. We had a 24, and then we had two 25s. So our sum, what we get is 296, okay? So on my work, I'm going to show that when I added them up, I got 296. We're going to divide by how many pieces of data that we have. So we added up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 numbers. So I'm going to take my 296 and I'm going to divide it by 14. And again, we can put that back in our calculator. So I've got my 296 divided by 14, and I get 21.142. So if I go back to my my work here, I see that it's rounded to the nearest tenth, so it is a 21.1. Okay, and then our last one, number 6. Number 6 is a stem and leaf plot, and it is about range. So to find the range, we already did a range question, but it was on a box plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the maximum minus the minimum. And we learned about stem and leaf plots yesterday. So we know that this one is 6 line 8 is a 68. Okay. So our minimum is a 68 and our maximum is a 97. So all I have to do is 97 minus 68. And again, we can just put that in our calculator and make sure our answer is correct. So my maximum of 97 minus my minimum of 68 gives me a range of 29. So I'm going to show that on my work paper that I got a range of 29. So my answer should have been A. Okay. All right, guys, you are going to spend the rest of the class working on a just a review that has like different sections. So one section is box plots. That's the first section. The next section is dot plots. Then you have a section over histograms. And then you have a section over stem and leaf plots. Okay, so you're gonna do all that. You're gonna show all of your work on a separate sheet of paper. Okay, there are videos embedded, so I want you guys to watch those videos. Those videos are like seriously like a 1 or a 2 minute quick recap on like what a dot plot is, or what a histogram, how you find stuff in each of those statistical displays. They're going to be really helpful for you as you get started on that section of the review. If you finish the review in class, there is a statistics choice board that is posted on the stream on Google Classroom. Okay, so your assignment is in the classwork. Do that, show all your work, get that done, get that completed. Then if you have extra time remaining, go to the statistics choice board that is on the stream of Google Classroom.